My name's Dr Cairns, and today we're going to be investigating the distribution of a plant. Let me introduce you to NUAST's mini garden. Welcome to the NUAST mini garden. So, what we have here on this side is our mini forest, and our mini forest provides a lot of shade. Then we have our lawn of grass, and along the lawn of grass are lots of daisies dotted in that lawn. Now this area is roughly 3.5 metres. So what we're going to do today is investigate the number of daisies along our lawn and look at the distribution of them as well. To do this, we need two pieces of key equipment. Number one, we're going to need a transect line. A transect line is a line from one part of our lawn to another part of our lawn. It's a straight line, and today we're going to be using a measuring tape to make our transect line. The other piece of equipment that we need is a quadrat. You may or may not have seen a quadrat before. This is what a standard quadrat looks like, and the measurements are known on each side. It's a square, and therefore we know the area of the quadrat, but we also know the perimeter of the quadrat. Within the quadrat you see these smaller squares as well. Now you can probably imagine this quadrat is too big for our mini lawn, so I have a mini quadrat. Here is my mini quadrat. This measures 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres, so that covers 100 centimetres squared area. And we're going to be using this along our transect line today. So, the first thing I did was set up my transect line. And my transect line runs all the way from my shady region where the forest is to the end of the lawn. And you can see that measuring tape going down the centre of the lawn. Before we start recording any data, we need to make an appropriate table. I have made this table. I would like you to copy a similar table down into your book, please. So, in the first column, you have the quadrat number, okay? The second column, you have the distance along the transect in centimetres. And the third column, you have the number of daisies, okay? Now remember, in the middle column, when we look at the distance along the transect, usually that would be metres. But because this is our mini garden, we're going to be using centimetres. So, my very first reading has to come from my very first quadrat. And I've set my quadrat up at 0 centimetres. And you can see that here. Now, when I look at my quadrat, I can see there are no daisies in my quadrat. So, we can fill the table in as we go. So at 0 centimetres along the transect line, there are no daisies, so there are 0 daisies. Right. We are now going to set up another quadrat along the line, and I'm going to set up multiple ones of these every 50 centimetres. I'm going to look at our second quadrat now. So my second quadrat is at 50 centimetres. And I can see there is one daisy in there, so I can fill my table in again. 50 centimetres, one daisy. In my third quadrat, I can see there are 3 daisies. However, we need to be careful when we are counting daisies. When you look at this particular quadrat, you can see 2 daisies on this side and 1 daisy on this side. Now, to make sure that you've counted them correctly and for it to be fair, you should only count 2 sides of that quadrat. So you can see those daisies are sitting on that side of the quadrat. I am only going to count daisies that are on the line here or on the line here, because we would get misleading data if I would count daisies that were on this line and this line. So I'm only counting daisies on this line, and in this case, I've only got 2. Now remember, it's another 50 centimetres, so I'm at 100 centimetres now, and there are 2 daisies. At 150 centimetres, I find there are how many daisies? Fill in your table as you go. At 200 centimetres, there are how many daisies? That's right, 3 daisies. At 250 centimetres, I see there are 5 daisies. At 300 centimetres, there are 4 daisies. Now that we have our data, is there anything that you notice about that data? What happens to the number of daisies as you move from the shady region to the less shady region? You should have enough information now to complete your table and complete the questions on the worksheet. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Dr Cairns. See you again soon.